Nigeria has lost $300 billion over the last few decades due to corruption.
I will not argue with them.
He and his family reportedly stole an estimated $5 billion from government coffers.
He gave me 15 million US dollars in cash.
15 million?
15 million cash.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, money laundering suit of 82 billion naira against him.
In a world where corruption often makes headlines, there are those who stand tall, fearless, unshaken, and determined to do what is right. These Nigerians didn't just talk about integrity, they lived it, fought for it, and even risked their lives for it. From fearless activists to bold reformers, these Nigerians proved that honesty and courage can change a nation. Who are they, and what made them so extraordinary? Let's dive in. But first, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the NaTV channel. Thank you. Dora Akunyili, former NAFDAC Director General, was a distinguished pharmacist, academic, and public servant best known for her relentless fight against counterfeit drugs in Nigeria.
A fake drug is such a bad news. It is mass murder. The evil of fake drugs cannot be compared with any. But unfortunately, the world is not giving it enough attention. As evidenced by the fact that as I speak, there is no harmonized definition of counterfeit drug.
As the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, from 2001 to 2008, she spearheaded reforms that drastically reduced the circulation of fake and substandard drugs, saving countless lives. She took on powerful drug cartels and corrupt officials, despite facing numerous threats, including assassination attempts.
They've tried intimidation and harassment and, threatening my life. They didn't succeed. Now everybody is joining the bandwagon of anti-crusade to sanitize drug distribution, food, stop fake and unwholesome food, and strengthen regulation in this country.
Akunyili's leadership restored public confidence in the healthcare sector and earned her both national and international recognition, including the Transparency International Integrity Award. After her tenure at NAFDAC, she served as Nigeria's Minister of Information and Communications, where she championed the Rebrand Nigeria campaign. Her legacy remains an inspiration for public service, integrity.
Corruption is not just about giving or taking money. Corruption is about not doing the right thing. Because we do not understand that we don't need too much. Our wants may be too many, but our needs are very little. And I don't even envy corrupt people because they destroy themselves and destroy their children, generations unborn.
Gani Fawehinmi was a renowned lawyer, social critic, and political activist who dedicated his life to fighting against corruption, dictatorship, and human rights violations in Nigeria.
Provisions of the Constitution that he should consider public interest, public justice. The murder was committed while he was the Attorney General, and his compensation was to be seconded to the International Court of Hague, and today he's our ambassador. What type of irony? And what a country.
As a fierce advocate for justice, he provided legal support to marginalized citizens, journalists, and political prisoners, often taking on cases pro bono. Fawehinmi openly opposed military rule and was repeatedly arrested, harassed, and detained for challenging successive governments. He founded the Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, which became an essential resource for legal professionals. His unwavering commitment to democracy led him to reject a national honor, citing the pervasive corruption in the country. In 2008, he was awarded the Senior Advocate of Nigeria (SAN) title after years of denial due to his activism. Even in his battle with cancer, Fawehinmi remained vocal about Nigeria's governance, leaving behind a legacy of courage, resilience, and an unyielding pursuit of justice. Nuhu Ribadu, former EFCC chairman. Nuhu Ribadu is a distinguished law enforcement officer and anti-corruption crusader who served as the pioneer chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, from 2003 to 2007.
You investigated your boss?
The Inspector General of Police, yes, I investigated him. I seized $150 million from him and sent him to prison.
And governors of some of the wealthiest state governments?
Several.
Didn't they try to bribe you?
Several times. Several. Indeed, at one point, there was a particular incident where I was given $15 million cash.
You were given this money?
Directly former governor of one of the Niger Delta states in Nigeria, he gave me cash, $15 million in bags, 2 heavy big bags, and I use it as evidence against him.
Under his leadership, the EFCC became a formidable institution in Nigeria's fight against corruption, investigating and prosecuting high-profile cases that were previously considered untouchable. His tenure saw the conviction of influential politicians, business moguls, and government officials, as well as the recovery of billions of naira looted from public coffers. One of Ribadu's most notable acts of integrity was rejecting a $15 million bribe from a former governor, which he used as evidence against the corrupt politician in court. His fearless pursuit of justice made him a target for powerful elites, leading to multiple assassination attempts and eventual exile. Despite facing political persecution, including his controversial demotion from the Nigeria police force, Ribadu remained resolute in his anti-corruption advocacy.
I survived it. They wanted to kill me. If you fight corruption, it fights back. And I fought corruption in Nigeria, but I'm lucky, I'm out.
They missed you.
Very lucky, for now.
Sanusi Lamido, former CBN governor and emir of Kano, is a distinguished economist, banker, and traditional ruler known for his unwavering commitment to integrity, financial reform, and social justice.
In Nigeria, there's no accountability at all, and that's why I think Nigerian corruption is worse than corruption in many parts of the world, because it's the worst type of corruption.
Since I became governor, I have constantly reduced operating costs and expenses in the central bank. I've increased operating surplus. Give you an example. The year before I became governor in 2008, the central bank contributed 8 billion naira, 8 billion to the federal budget. By 2012, I contributed 80 billion. This year, I'm contributing 159 billion from 2013. That is 20 times what was being contributed before I became governor.
As the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, from 2009 to 2014, he implemented bold policies that stabilized Nigeria's banking sector in the wake of the global financial crisis. His tenure was marked by a crackdown on corruption in the banking industry, leading to the dismissal and prosecution of several top executives for financial mismanagement. Sanusi gained national and international recognition for his courageous stance against corruption when he exposed the mismanagement of $20 billion in oil revenues by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC.
Why is there no money coming in? Why is NNPC not able to bring in dollars? I'm sorry, this is the question that cost me my job. I will continue asking this question until NNPC is fixed or until I die. Where are the dollars?
His whistleblowing led to his controversial suspension from office in 2014, a move widely seen as political retaliation. Despite this, he remained resolute in advocating for transparency and accountability in governance. Okonjo-Iweala, economist and Director General of the World Trade Organization. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala is a globally respected economist, policy expert, and reform advocate known for her integrity and commitment to public service. She made history as the first African and first woman to become the Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, in 2021. Before this, she served 2 terms as Nigeria's Minister of Finance, where she implemented groundbreaking reforms to improve economic stability, reduce Nigeria's debt, and curb corruption.
That's what I did. I was at the World Bank enjoying myself. And I was invited to come back, very risky. And I took one of the biggest risks in my life to go back. Because you know what? When you fight corruption, those same people fight you back. And if they can't fight you, they smear you. So they kidnapped my mother and held her for 5 days and said I should resign. And I refused, threatened me. And even after I left, they continued to malign my name. That's why I wrote, fighting corruption is dangerous. But who will fight for you, you Africans in the room? I took a risk because even people, there are people, sensible people who still believe Okonjo-Iweala did something. Just because those people try to damage your name.
She also introduced measures to improve transparency in government spending, including the introduction of the Government Integrated Financial Management System, GIFMIS, and the Treasury Single Account, TSA, which significantly reduced financial leakages. Her commitment to integrity was evident when she resisted pressure from corrupt interests and exposed fraudulent oil subsidy claims, saving the Nigerian government billions of dollars. Despite facing threats, including the tragic kidnapping of her mother, Okonjo-Iweala remained steadfast in her mission to reform Nigeria's financial system. Fela Durotoye, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and nation builder. Fela Durotoye is a leadership expert, business strategist, and motivational speaker renowned for his commitment to integrity, national transformation, and ethical leadership.
So a few years ago, I was approached by, I got a phone call. They said, we want to run a program called on ethical leadership, training across 774 local governments in 8 weeks. So we want you to please give us your invoice. So we went and I called my team together. I said, please make sure that when you do, everything is at cost. Everything. The pencil must be at cost. The bag, the paper, everything. And then they said, okay, so what do we do as management fee? I said, no, this is for Nigeria. Leave that out. I am not charging a management fee on it. So it's only the cost. So we put in a bid for 1.3 billion at that time. Exact cost. 3 days later, I get a call. Congratulations, fella. You know, you have been given the task. But we looked at the costing and we said it's not possible that this costing could have been, it's most likely that you did not put anything for yourself. I said, no, I didn't put anything for myself. I said, I told them in that meeting, Fela won't put anything for himself. He said, so we decided to put something for you. So we want to put 700 million on top of this thing so you will get 2 billion, but send us an invoice for 5 billion. And we need that invoice in the next 3 days before they close the account of the for the year. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. He said, what is it that you don't understand, fella? We said, send it in so that we can quickly process it for you. It's already allocated to you, don't worry. I said, but sir, I thought you said this thing is ethical leadership. He said, yes. I said, but if already we are doing ethical leadership and we are already inflating price, then what are we teaching? He said, fella, please. You know that if you don't do this thing, you know these people, they will just give it to one of their people who will not even do any job and they will still deliver that thing. It's better for you to be the one that got it. I said, no, sir. The gifts and the callings of God are without repentance, but the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. He said, there's no sorrow to this. You have been doing well for Nigeria. It is time for Nigeria to do well for you. I said, no, sir. I'm sorry. Long story cut short, I had to turn off my phone for 3 days at one point. He was calling me every 30 minutes. At one time, I turned off my phone. What is the point that I'm making? You have to come to the point where you value your values to the point where nobody can offer you anything. Only your values can help you turn down what looks like an opportunity to be corrupt.
He has dedicated his career to inspiring individuals, organizations, and governments to uphold excellence and good governance. Durotoye is widely respected for his advocacy on values-based leadership, believing that Nigeria's progress hinges on ethical leaders who prioritize service over self-interest. Nasir El-Rufai, reformist, administrator, and advocate for good governance. Nasir El-Rufai is a distinguished public servant known for his integrity, patriotism, and commitment to reform.
When Charles Osuju went to Mike Adenuga and collected 25 million and brought it, came to me and told me, I told him return his money to him. And I'll leave this matter because Charles was one of my good staff. I said, go and return, let this be between us. I know what you are trying to do. You are thinking of my best interest. This is Nigeria. You know, he gave a long speech about nobody will look after you, sir. You work very hard here. You don't have anything. I said, before I came here, did you know how I was feeding my family? Who asked you to do that? I said, Charles, go and return the money and I will forget you've told me this. He didn't. He came back to me a second time with $100,000. He said it is in the trunk of his car. I should go and just pick it. He went back to Mike Adenuga. I said, Charles, you are not listening. If you don't do what I have told you, I'm going to have to get you disciplined. He came back at that time and said Atiku Abubakar knows about this, that Mike Adenuga told Atiku Abubakar. So I said, okay, fine. I went and confronted Atiku. I said, you guys are telling us you are fighting corruption, where we should do things straight, and now this is what I've had. Atiku called Mike Adenuga and put him on speakerphone and said, Mike, what did I tell you about Nasir? He said, you said I should not try to see him or give him anything. Atiku, so why did you? I'm sorry, sir. I just wanted to thank him. This is what happened.
As Nigeria's Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, from 2003 to 2007, he spearheaded a bold restructuring of Abuja's urban planning, enforcing strict land use policies and reclaiming public spaces from illegal encroachments. Despite resistance from powerful interests, El-Rufai remained unwavering in his mission to restore order and transparency, earning a reputation as a fearless reformer. As governor of Kaduna State, he implemented transformative policies aimed at revitalizing governance. He introduced merit-based recruitment in the civil service, eliminated ghost workers, and promoted fiscal discipline. His commitment to education led to a radical overhaul of the sector, including the dismissal of unqualified teachers. His policies often prioritized the collective good over political expediency, making tough but necessary decisions for long-term progress. Whether in Abuja or Kaduna, his legacy remains one of courage, reform, and an unwavering dedication to good governance. These icons of integrity prove that one person's courage can inspire a nation. Their stories remind us that honesty, resilience, and the fight for justice are never in vain. If you were inspired by their stories, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more powerful stories of changemakers. Thank you, and goodbye for now.